Last night, an epic battle. Let's bring on Chris Broussard for the Warriors Celtics, which was, by all accounts, a very interesting game. Watched it with the sound down until 5 minutes left. Your takeaway on what you saw? I gotta tell you, Jaylen Brown has popped.
Jaylen Brown is tough. When I look at Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and obviously the 14 straight wins, I was talking before the show to somebody. Some teams make you believe. You won't believe until they do some extraordinary things. Other teams, we give the benefit of the doubt. They have so many big names, so much talent that we think they're going to be great. One example of a team that made you believe was Golden State. Back in 2014, Steve Kerr's first year, they went from 51 wins before he gets there to 67. And even after they won a title, people didn't believe. Doc Rivers is like, oh, they lucky they didn't face us. Memphis was hurt too. I talked to LeBron before that finals, and I said, do they remind you of San Antonio in 2014? And he was like, no. Like the way they moved the ball, the way they shot, he was like, no, they not on that level. They made people believe because nobody thought Steph was the number one guy on a title team.
Right.
Nobody thought Klay was even a number two guy on a title team.
I didn't.
Draymond's a second-round pick. So you look at the names, it was like, please. But they made us believe. I still think Cleveland's the best team in the East and going to win the East. But Boston, you're not going to believe in Jaylen Brown in his second season could start on a finals team. And Jason Tatum as a rookie could start on a finals team until they make you believe it.
Well, what's the winning streak now?
14. And they've beaten Oklahoma City in similar fashion to what they did last night.
Let's talk about Brad Stevens. Here's a guy who goes to Butler and gets them to the Final Four. So it's fairly obvious if you're taking him in back-to-back years with Gordon Hayward's a nice player, dude can coach.
Yeah.
But he's done the same thing in the NBA. Like when I watch their inbounds plays and half-court offense, they're stealing 4-6 points a night.
That play last night, late in the game, Kyrie gets a layup. You're right. He is a phenomenal coach. We've put him in the Popovich, conversation, if you will. And if you look at it, it's very similar to what Popovich does. Look at their stats. They got about three guys, Tatum, Brown, and Horford, all averaging around 15 points.
Yeah.
Kyrie's at 20, so no huge score. Nobody's averaging over 32 minutes a game. That's how, and they're going like 10 deep on the bench. And that's what Popovich has done in this great run is nobody plays a ton of minutes. Nobody's scoring 27 points. I mean, now you got Kawhi, but in the Duncan era, nobody's scoring 27 points a game. And the minutes are spread out and they go deep. It's very similar.
So you have a theory. It's almost a hot take, but you're not really a hot takey guy. But let's just say Isaiah Thomas comes back. He never gets to 100%. And it's clunky. The chemistry's not great. LeBron doesn't quite know how to use a 5'8" guy who's a scorer. And they lose to Boston and Kyrie. You have a belief here.
Well, first of all, whether Isaiah was just not himself or 100%, whatever the case, if Cleveland loses to Boston and Boston goes to the finals, the summer is not going to be as exciting because LeBron James can't leave. You can't go to L.A. You can't go to New York. You can't go to Houston, San Antonio. If Boston beats you and you're LeBron James, you have got to stay in Cleveland because it will look like a 6'2" point guard who ran away from you, was your teammate, ran you out of the Eastern Conference.
It does.
Or ran you to a 7'3" unicorn, to use Kevin Durant's word, to help you beat him, or ran you to James Harden, Chris Paul, wherever you might go. It will look like you are running away I need help to beat 6'2" Kyrie Irving, who used to be my Robin, my sidekick.
My valet.
Yeah, you can't. It's one thing to go get help to beat the big three, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, or to beat Golden State now. But Boston? With Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? No, you cannot leave. And even if that's not the reason, even if it's, hey, I just want to be in L.A., hey, I want to see if I can win a championship in New York. No, because I'm not in this group. But there are those that still think he took the easy way out and going to Miami. I don't think you're in that group either.
No.
There are those who say, yeah, you went to Cleveland, but they had Kyrie. Kevin Love, you traded for him. You had 2 All-Stars with you. This would be the kicker, in my opinion, for those people that feel that way to say, you had to run to get help to beat Kyrie?
When you're on my show.
Can't do it.
Yeah, it's an interesting take. When you're on my show and you talk, I would imagine you get texts after it, hey, saw you on the herd or whatever, right? Yeah. And when you mentioned this yesterday, I was excited all day. Listen, I when Harbaugh went to Michigan, I was happy. Big brand, big brand. When Aaron Judge is great for the Yankees, I'm happy. I like to see big brands. I grew up with Michigan football, and I like to see the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. Yeah. I do. I like to see the Yankees in the playoffs. When you mentioned when you mentioned Porzingis and LeBron, and it sounds crazy, but you made a very compelling argument that if you could just add one more dimension to that, you'd have your 5, you'd have your 4, you'd have your point forward. We call it Bronzingus. Did you get a text? Is this something that people are saying to themselves, this ain't a bad option?
No, because it's so premature. Now, I talked with people around this situation. New York it's not like, what was that, 2010, where New York is banking on it, right? They're thinking, we got a great shot. We're going to make sure we do everything to get LeBron. Of course they'd love him. Of course they'll make their pitch and try to get him. But they're beyond just putting all their eggs in that basket, which is smart because they think it probably won't happen. But to your point, I'm just like, I think he really should stay in Cleveland. I think that's what LeBron really should do. But you're right. It would be so exciting if he went there and played with Porzingis.
For the league.
More exciting than the Lakers.
No question. Listen, it's better for the NBA because I think this Laker unit's going to win about 36 games. They're going to get, I think they could get a Paul George. I don't think Paul's going to work in OKC. I don't. I think he's going to come out to L.A., and I contend if you have Lonzo's better, Paul George, Kuzma, Ingram, it's a pretty – and by the way, they're all getting better, and you'll have room for 2 more, so you may land somebody else. NBA, LeBron and Bronzingus would be absolutely incredible.
It'd be phenomenal. And like I said yesterday, they would make the finals. They would make the finals. Now, I just said he can't leave if they lose to Boston, LeBron. So just beat Boston. Make sure you beat Boston this year. Because if you lose to Boston and you go to play in New York with Porzingis, it's going to look like you're running from a little point guard, So I beat Boston, get to the finals. You probably get smoked by Golden State, and then you can go to New York and get your help. And again, Porzingis would really, and LeBron, and whoever you put around him would be,
It's the best front court in the NBA in a decade.
They would be tough for Golden State.
Oh, finally you've got the matchup.
Yep.
That would be the best front court in the league in a decade.
As good as Golden State is, they're not unbeatable.
They're skinny jeans.
Yeah,
they are.
You saw Boston push them around, got tough with them.
And they didn't answer the bell.
No, they did. And I think they just, in their minds, maybe even subconsciously, it was like,
they're not
we don't want to work that hard to, look, they're still the best team in the league, don't get me wrong, and probably an all-time great team. But if you put together the right combination of players in the right style of play, you can compete with them and maybe beat them. And that, too many people are throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
Saying we can't do it.
It's not the way I operate. Not the way you operate.
No.
Go to the mat with guys.
That's not how you do it on the herd.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the herd or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.